Hey comic fans, welcome back to the Comic Fix. Now in today's video I'm going to be doing 4 books that came out for DC Comics this week. And starting out with probably one of the most successful books out of the New 52, and that's Scott Snyder's and Greg Capullo's Batman issue number 16. This is the basically almost to the end of the Death of the Family story arc that's been going on in the Batman titles. This issue has Batman going into Arkham Asylum. Now it's run by the Joker. And it's really cool to see how Batman's going through Arkham Asylum and seeing the fucked up things that the Joker has done to Arkham. And it's cool how he integrates all the characters that has been in the New 52. It's just so freaking fantastic. From the times that Batman gets in there and you see the guards that were guarding Arkham Asylum from these mass murderers basically doing a dance in a Batman outfit and in a Joker's outfit. It's so freaking awesome. I do remember how Scott Snyder on his, or it was a Scott Snyder Greg Capullo, teased with us with this image of Batman and he's crying. And then come to find out, it was not actually Batman, but it was one of the guards that was in the get-up of Batman. So it's interesting to go into the mind of Batman in this issue. It was more of an inner dialogue between Batman. There was no great action sequences in there. But what there was a lot of was a lot of killing of horses. Scott Snyder, I don't know if you know this, but you kind of did some fucked up things to these horses. I mean, from having Mr. Freeze freeze one of them and then just blowing the thing to smithereens and seeing all the red particles, oh, it was nasty, to Batman punching a horse, which was freaking awesome because you see Batman and he just beat up on all these goons that were dressed up as knights. And a horse starts running in. I didn't notice it my first time reading the book, but on the second time I looked, and you see this frown on Batman's face before he punches the horse. The cool thing was, once he punches the horse, and he basically beats up the goon that was on it, he takes the horse, and he starts to ride off. So, hopefully it's like Batman knew right where to hit the horse, that it wouldn't injure the horse, but just kind of knock it down. And there was another point in there where a horse was caught on fire and running towards Batman. Now, one of the things I noticed in this issue was how much Greg Capullo is great at setting up a scene. From the point where the horse, you just see like a flame coming at Batman, and it's all dark all around. To where when you're wondering what the hell is this thing that's on fire, and then you notice it's a horse. It's just awesome to see how panel to panel Greg Capullo does his artwork. And makes the storytelling that much better. To the point where Batman starts walking around Arkham Asylum and sees this painting of the fucked up things Joker and him have been through. And then to come to find out the doll maker made this masterpiece out of living humans. And then you notice, oh god, it is humans. And you're just like, wow, this is really messed up. And there's points when Batman's going through Arkham and facing against these villains. And the Joker has a reason for all of them being there, and he gives a reason why. And just really cool to see the dynamic the Joker has in his mind about how everything works. And then you get to the big confrontation between Batman and the Joker. And it is so freaking awesome. It wasn't an altercation when they fought, but just the mind games that Joker was playing on Batman was so freaking awesome. The ending to Scott Snyder's part was a little bit lacking, kind of. Because you see Batman almost feels defeated by what the Joker has done because the Joker just showed him this video feed of all the Bat Family characters being held by the Joker. And Batman knows at this point that, oh my god, he's finally done it. He could kill one of my people if I don't do what he wants. So of course Batman does it. And he goes and sits in his chair, which you come to find out it is a electric chair, and he gets electrocuted. Spoiler warning. Because I gave you guys, almost a week to read your book, so I'm not worried about spoilers. I should have said that at the beginning of the video, but you guys know what I do. But, so you see Batman finally get electrocuted. And that was kind of the end of Scott Snyder's part of the story. And then the backup comes in, and it's more of a continuation. And the altercation between Joker and the three guys who we had at the moment of the execution was the Riddler, the Riddler, Penguin, and Two-Face. It was cool to see Joker kind of talk to Two-Face mostly, and how he just demised him and said, "You're nothing." In the way the villains look, you are nothing. It just took a little bit of acid to turn you into this beast. You are nothing. And to see that and to read it was so interesting, to see these two villains or these two maniacs talk to each other and the Joker just diminish who he is. It was really freaking fantastic. And it did kind of have that vibe of The Dark Knight, where you had the Joker and Two-Face in the hospital wing, where Joker puts a gun to his head and tells Harvey Dent to kill him. There's a little bit of that, but all in all, this issue is freaking amazing. It was more, for Scott Snyder's part, just setting up that altercation that's going to be happening in next issue. And at the end of the whole entire thing, we got this little cock tease of who has a Joker killed. And there's this great part in the backup where the Joker shows Two-Face and the Penguin who he killed. And at that point, you just see the faces of Two-Face and the Penguin. You're just like, oh my god, who did the Joker kill? I really, 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 really want to know. It is my guess, it's only a guess, that it is Jim Gordon. I do think that Jim Gordon got killed and the Joker killed Jim Gordon. And maybe just a guess, but that's who I think he really did kill. Because really, how could the Joker go and kill one of the Robins again? It would just be interesting to see what he would do to Jim Gordon, because he has done so many bad things to Jim Gordon's family, to Barbara Gordon, to everything that Jim Gordon believes in. So it'll be really interesting to see how or who the Joker killed in Death of the Family. Oh, I cannot wait. Because I know it's not Alfred, because if it was Alfred, how the hell would the Joker or the Penguin and Two-Face really care that the Joker killed Alfred? I mean, they don't know that Batman is Bruce Wayne and that is Bruce Wayne's butler. So I don't think it was them just by the shock of their face. I do think it was Commissioner Gordon. So Batman issue number 16. We'll get an unsurprising 5 out of 5. I really love this issue. Just the whole setup for the who did the Joker kill just has me on the edge of my seat. Great stuff. Especially with what Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo are doing. Love this issue. Love everything that they've done. And it's cool though to look back at the couple of issues that Greg Capullo was not a part of the art. And how in those 2 issues, while he was just getting the artwork ready for Death of the Family, to see how much his weight and his input was missed by those 2 issues and how it brought the book kind of down. And if Greg Capullo or Scott Snyder were not together, I don't think this book would work as well as it is. I think these two are just working in tangent, and hopefully they'll be doing Batman for a long, long time. Because God knows these guys are fantastic. Next up is Frankenstein Agent of S.H.A.D.E. issue number 16, the last issue of this book. So I'm not going to tell you guys to go out and pick this issue up if you're not reading it, because it's the last issue. The interesting thing is that it's taking place, I believe, before the events of Rot World, where we see in this issue that the characters that were killed off in the last couple issues of Frankenstein during Rot World are back, and that Agent of S.H.A.D.E, which was destroyed during Rot World, is back. And so it's just a kind of a little thank you story almost, and Matt Kindt does a really good job at just getting the story where Frankenstein and his group is going up against this one organization that wants to go and put a dirty bomb into a city to turn everybody into monsters. Premise is very simple. The storyline, and it's just done in this very much a fun way, where you have the story being told by 2 point of views. One is by Frankenstein, and the other one is by this Homeland Security guy who's been following this organization that he knows is doing something evil and something bad. So for the past 5 years, he's been watching this organization, and he's got nowhere from it. But he knows in his heart that something's going to happen. And then one day, as he was watching this group and keeping a very close eye on them, Frankenstein and his group come in. Now this is where I had the most problem with this story, as he sees on this video feeds of this group coming in and all monsters and whatnot, and he calls up his boss and he tells him, "We got a secret we got our secret organization coming in and wiping out the guys who I've been watching. What the hell? Why didn't no one tell me about another group coming in?" I was like, how the hell does this Homeland Security guy know that Frankenstein and his group is part of a U.S. government or an organization or a secret cell? Because it doesn't have it on their name badge. So that little part right there, I was just like, I don't know. But looking past that, you just get a really fun story of Frankenstein doing his last hurrah with Agent of S.H.A.D.E to destroy this this dirty bomb, this monster bomb. And it's done so much. There's so much fun in this issue. And one of the glowing parts about this whole entire series has been Alberto Ponticelli's artwork, where in Rot World he was able to have this grand scope and have so much detail on every single panels. And you see it again in this issue, and it's just so much fun. There were points in there where it felt like Alberto wasn't able to have that grand scope mechanic in there, but when the bomb part happened, it was just like he was able to open up the panels and just have these huge, awesome fights, and it was just awesome to behold. I cannot wait to see his artwork go on to something else. I would love to see him on Superman. Maybe put him on, because we know we got Jim Lee on the Man of Steel book that will be coming out later 2013. We got a new artist coming on to Action Comics, and we got I don't remember the name of the artist that's on Superman right now, but I would love to see him on some big scoping book, maybe on like a Green Lantern book. But something. This guy needs to have a book where his artwork can be huge, because this guy is a talent. So look up for more books from Alberto Ponticelli, because man, this artist is freaking amazing. Let me try to get some artwork just to show you how great the scope of his artwork actually is. It's just like, look at this picture, just right here of Frankenstein just getting a bomb blown up right in front of him. Just so freaking cool. Another thing that I liked about Frankenstein that in the New 52 that they brought is that he's a monster, yes, but he has this nice, tender soul to him. That he's more human than a lot of characters out there. He may be this beast, but in that beast, in this multiple parts to his body, to multiple human parts to his body, there is a tender, loving soul in there. But there's still that monster in him, and just cool to see how the playing around that Jeff Lemire to Matt Kindred has brought so much soul to this character. This character could have been done so poorly under it. Frankenstein never had the possibility of just being a dumb character, but to see the loving tenderness that Matt Kindred and Jeff Lemire brought to the character is just so beautiful to behold. And it's nice to know that Frankenstein is going to be moving to Justice League Dark, and we're still going to get Frankenstein in the DCU. Because I understood why they canceled this book. I mean, the sales on it was not as impressive as it could have been, mostly because of the way that this book was marketed. It just failed at that. There's no marketing towards this book whatsoever. And I think that if they actually marketed it well, or even marketed it at all, this series could have been something really, really special. It was something different in the DCU that I'm going to miss quite a bit. And it's really sad to see in this wave of cancellations, the two books that I really are going to miss, Frankenstein and I, Vampire. And as you guys can go look at James Donnelly's video that he has done, which was beautiful, just about his love for the characters, and the way that I, Vampire was done was so beautiful. But the marketing, there was no real push for that book. And another thing that I thought failed it was that it came out at the worst time possible. It came out during the time of Twilight. Twilight has destroyed anything with vampires. People, especially like me, I don't want to go read a vampire story, because I think with how Hollywood is and how the market is that everyone thinks it's going to be like a Twilight knockoff. Where I, Vampire was something dark and sinister, and something that the vampire genre needs. Yes, DC Comics / Vertigo has American Vampire, which is really great, which is going to be going on hiatus for a little bit. But it was nice to see a really good other dark vampire story being told by DC Comics and I, Vampire. And I just think that DC Comics is the one that failed it. It was not us, the fans. Us, the fans, we love the series. Every single guy I have watched, or girl I have watched on YouTube who have mentioned I, Vampire, are sad to see it go. And the outcry from all these fans are like, why are you canceling our book? I mean, this book is something special. But DC Comics does not see it that way. They just cancel the book for no freaking reason. Just saying that, it did not sell that well. I should have known that the book was in trouble when I looked at the preview for Jeff Lemire's Green Arrow series that's going to be coming out next month. And who's on the artwork? Well, it's the artist that is on I, Vampire. And most artists, they cannot do 2 books. I should have seen this coming all along. And I'm really sad to see this book go. I, Vampire and Frankenstein just have a warm part in my heart for this series. I don't know where Andrew Bennett's going to be going after his book is canceled. He's had a little bit of parts in Justice League Dark, but his parts I don't think were as well portrayed as it could have been. But under the watch of, I can't remember their names, but the writer and artist of I, Vampire, it was just so freaking beautiful. I'd love to see this book possibly be or as a lot of comics like to do, renumbered with an issue number 1 and have it under the Vertigo line. Because that's where I think this book would mostly shine. And one of the downsides about Vertigo is that usually a Vertigo reader, they wait for it to come out in trade. And I'm wondering to see how DC will respond to iVampire if they actually wait for the second trade to come out before canceling the book. Because the trades really do let you know on who was waiting for or how the market looks for the book. Because I bought iVampire Volume 1, the book, even though I had all the trades. I just love that series so much, and I was just supporting this series. And I know there's a lot of people out there who want to support this series and who are supporting it with buying the single issues, but you also need to be buying the collection and letting DC Comics know that we are sick of you guys canceling these books that we really are getting into and have potential to do something great. This is just a disappointment from DC Comics, just to know that iVampire is gone for good. Well, not for good. They'll probably be back in about 10 to 15 years as they reboot all DC Comics once again. But I'm just really pissed off that DC Comics has canceled my iVampire. And I didn't really expect to get on a rant about iVampire, but that's the God honest truth. I am pissed off that they have failed iVampire. It was the marketing, it was DC Comics. I tried to support the book as much as I could, and again, it was not enough. And I've supported the book by reviewing it on my channel, being like, dude, you guys gotta check out iVampire. It's doing something special. But a lot of people, as I said, they didn't want to touch the book because of fucking books and movies like Twilight. Twilight has ruined anything that has to do with vampires or werewolves or anything supernatural. They just think it's going to be some teen drama bullshit. Just so sad to see happen to such a great book. So that's enough with that. And let's get on to my next book, probably the last one I'm going to be reviewing for this video, and that is Batman and Robin, issue number 16. So, Robin is going to be facing off against Batman, and at the end of issue number 15, you see Batman basically come out, and he has the laughing gas, and it's up against Robin to just face off against Batman. I love this issue for one simple reason. The way that Peter Tomasi writes Damian and his dilemma of thinking that this guy who is in a Batman suit is actually his father, and he knows that he's probably going to have to kill him to escape what the Joker has done to him. And so to get this inner dilemma is just so freaking fantastic. And then to get Pat Gleason's artwork in there is so freaking sick. The last issue, Gleason, what he did was he messed with the Joker's face, and you saw the Joker wearing his face backwards, and it just gave off this creepy vibe. Well, in this issue, Gleason is focusing on the eyes and making the eyes dark, and you can't see the eyeballs. So that when you look at it, it's just something as dark as his soul. Because as people say, the eyes are the windows of the soul. And for Joker, is black. And that is how Pat Gleason depicts the Joker. And it was so freaking cool. There's points in there where you see a fly throughout the issue, just going through the panels. And that, I think, signifies the Joker, who's a fly on the wall, just watching the dilemma that's going on between Batman and Robin. Now, as most of us knew by issue 15, this cannot possibly be Batman in this outfit who the Robin's facing off against. So I wonder how Robin really could not tell that this is not his father. We do learn by the end that the person that is in this outfit is a martial arts expert, but I think that there should have been little tells to Robin know that this is not his father. Because like what we saw when Damian faced against the Huntress, he could tell by her stance and her style that she was trained by Batman and Catwoman, but a little bit different. So I really don't see how he couldn't known right away that this was not his father. But giving up that part of it and just being like, okay, I'm just going to go with the story is just fantastic to see the dilemma that Damien's going through. And then to get this awesome climax where Robin basically says, I'm not going to kill my father. So, Batman, you take my life. I'm sacrificing myself so you can live, basically. And at this point, you see Batman about to, or the martial art Batman, fake Batman, about to do the killing blow. And Joker basically hits a button and the imposter Batman blows up. It was just so fantastic to see that ending. It was just like, oh my god, this is freaking awesome. So there was just a lot to enjoy about this issue. The writing was fantastic. The artwork was freaking amazing. The high detail that was in this issue. And the one thing I gotta say about all the Bat Family books, besides Anna Cindy's Catwoman, which is god awful, which that's for another story, but I just love the artists and the writers that they have on all these different series, and it all makes it feel a little bit different. Where I think that Batman and Robin has the most clean look to it, but the way that the artist does it, it works. It works for what the book is. And Peter J. Tomasi, I think this is his best book in the New 52, because he does Green Lantern Corps and one other book, which I can't really think on the top of my head. But his run on Batman and Robin have had a lot of ups and downs. The main up was during the first story arc with, what was it, Nobody? I think that's what his name was freaking fantastic. And then after that, I don't think that Peter Tomasi knew where he was going with this series. The artist was kind of going in and out, and there was multiple artists on each issue. It just brought down the quality of the book. But then Death of the Family started, and it was freaking fantastic. It just feels like that the book is finally back on track and is a great jumping on time. Go back and pick up last issue of Batman and Robin and just enjoy the story and the fucked up things of Joker's taking Robin on this wicked ride. And it's interesting though, because I think that this is the scariest depiction of the Joker in all the Bat Family tie-ins, even including Greg Capullo's masterwork that he's doing with Batman. So in the end, I'm actually going to give Batman and Robin issue number 16 a 5 out of 5. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Besides the point where I just said about how it just didn't really make sense for Robin not to know that this imposter was not his father. So that's the end for this video. I did a little bit of ranting, and I was able to talk about my Batman books that I got this week. And in my next video, I will be talking about Batgirl. So be looking forward to that. This is Dave from the Comic Fix saying I'll see you guys next time. And let me know what you guys thought or thinking about iVampire, and if you guys are going to be buying the second volume to support this book, and maybe, just maybe, if our voices are heard, we can save that book. And I really wasn't expecting to go on a rant, but I sure did. And I'm so much enjoying doing these videos. It's just so rewarding to do it. And I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time.